Sometimes at certain clubs, we know that the board can listen to players when they're unhappy with a manager stroke head coach. Will the board be swayed by players backing the interim manager to get the job?
I think this is a difficult one for Manchester United because this is what happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And when he came in interim and then they got given a job and then 18 months, 2 years later, then it all fell apart. So it is a difficult decision to make. But from where Manchester United was almost 6 months ago, 4 months ago, even before he took over, to where they are now, is chalk and cheese. And so for me, you look at it and you think, Michael Carrick, can he take Manchester United, however, to the next level? Because it's all right doing it on a short-term basis, because that's all he's doing at the moment until the end of the season. But if they look at the bigger picture and we're saying 18 months' time, can Michael Carrick take them as far forward as he can in the league and cup competition? Because what we also need to remember with Manchester United this year is they have played the most games because first round League Cup out, FA Cup out. So it only actually played, was it less than 40 games they've had to play this season?
Well, which is it's certainly going to help them now, isn't it? Because the players should be fresh enough. At the very top, you said, when I asked about Michael Carrick getting the permanent job, you said there'd be other names in the hat. What other names can you come up with?
Well, the two that you're looking at would be Zidane and Xavi. They would be the two names that you'd look at. They're the global names. You think they've done Barcelona, they've done Real Madrid. You look at them and you think, are they the powerhouse names to come to Manchester United and be that manager that takes them back to the glory days as such? But can't the adaptation from European leagues to the Premier League and the hustle and bustle of 38 Premier League games that are 100%, 100 mile an hour, even if you are top and you play bottom of the league, it is all guns blazing. That we see a few weeks ago with Arsenal at Wolves when they drew, that's the biggest issue. So it'd be Michael Carrick, but then you've got other names in, like I said, with Zidane and Xavi.
They're both out of work. Are you only looking at out of work managers because you've got Luis Enrique? Before Carrick was appointed, there was a lot of people saying Unai Emery. There's been a lot of support for Eddie Howe, but they're all in jobs. Are you only looking at out of work managers?
I am at that point, but then you look at, take Eddie Howe out of the equation for argument's sake. Luis Enrique, fantastic job. Would he leave the job he is in? Would he leave that? Yes, again, it's Manchester United, globally the biggest club in world football. So, of course, that is the one. And then you look at Unai Emery. My biggest thing is with Unai Emery, can he get his team to the next level? Because we say it with Arsenal, it never happened. We're saying it with Aston Villa, it's so close, nearly getting there to the next level. Well, that certainly hasn't happened because they have dropped off. Regardless we talk about PSR, regardless we talk about injuries, they have certainly dropped off.
They've got a 6-point gap over six.
Yes, but
7 games to go.
But I remember being sat on this show 3 months ago, Tom, and I'm having a conversation with an Aston Villa fan talking about they're in the title race. They have never been in the title race. So that's how I see it. That's how I see it on that front. And with Eddie Howe, he's got a tough job at Newcastle at the moment, and he is the right man for that club, which obviously we'll come on to later.
It'll be smooth sailing from here. John, we'll start with your paper first. Back of the Mirror saying supercar is the headline. Give boss United job, even if I'm not here, says Harry Maguire. This is interesting stuff from Maguire. I mean, it's really, I suppose you have to respect what he's done, John, in the fact that he's played his way back into favour, not just in terms of his club, but also for his country as well. Has he earned the right, do you think, to get that extension and extend his career at United?
Oh, I think so, Jess. Yeah, he was really good value. Spoke to Harry Maguire on England duty at St George's Park, talking all manner of things really about his own future and Michael Carrick's future there. You know, I mean, his future is in some doubt. I mean, I kind of came away from the conversation thinking, oh, he definitely wants to stay. But he was making the point that actually it's got to be right for him. He wants to be playing games. He just doesn't want to be there for sentimental value, which you absolutely have to respect. But he was glowing about Michael Carrick, really, and who wouldn't be, to be honest with you. The impact that Carrick has had has been amazing to lift them from mid-table mediocrity, really, by comparison, up into third, chasing a Champions League spot has been absolutely fantastic. Playing with style, playing with traditional Manchester United flair, and you can see the pride that it gives Maguire. And I also love talking to Maguire when we talk about pride, about his passion for playing for his country as well. You know, we've done our main spread on kind of Maguire's passion for England and how he got a text just before the United team were about to take off on Thursday evening for their flight for the trip down to Bournemouth. and basically said, "Oh, can I give you a buzz?" And he spent the next kind of hour or couple of hours after they landed, not quite sure whether it was going to be good news or bad. So his World Cup dreams up in the clouds. But actually, by the time he landed and he quickly made contact, it was the best news possible, and he was jumping for joy, saying that basically it wouldn't matter to him if he played 1 minute or every minute of the World Cup. He's just so passionate about playing and going.
The
and
idea of
yes,
Michael Carrick stepping in as the new manager of Manchester United feels both familiar and risky at the same time. Carrick knows the club inside out, from the dressing room culture to the expectations that come with wearing that badge. But let's be honest, knowing Manchester United and leading Manchester United are two completely different challenges. This is not a rebuilding project with patience. This is a club that demands instant direction, identity, and results. Right now, United are stuck in a cycle of inconsistency. The squad is talented, no doubt, but it lacks clear structure and leadership on the pitch. Bringing in Carrick could bring some calm and tactical discipline, especially considering the composure he showed during his brief interim spell. But the big question is whether he has the authority and experience to command a dressing room filled with big personalities and high expectations week in, week out. Personally, this move feels like a gamble more than a long-term solution. Carrick has potential, but Manchester United is not the place to learn on the job. If the club truly wants to return to the top, they need a manager with proven elite-level experience. That said, if Carrick gets the backing, sets a clear style of play, and isn't overwhelmed by the pressure, he could surprise people. But right now, it feels like a decision driven more by comfort than ambition, and that's exactly what has been holding United back.